enthusiasts, and welcome to Scaled Affairs, the show where I try to rationalize my purchases while trying to fight buyer's remorse by presenting you a review of various anime figures. So be my guest and welcome to these figures on the turntable: Arm JK variant A, B and C from the Little Armory series by Tomytec. Each of them comes to you in one of those small windowless boxes. It has been a long time since I purchased a new release, but I don't think that this is a new package, but rather an exception for this spin-off of Figmas that are produced by Tomytec instead of Max Factory. But if this would be the current box style, I wouldn't complain, since it looks very clean and slick. In general, it would not surprise me if someday in the future, window boxes for smaller collectibles like Nendos and Figmas become a thing of the past. Inside the box there is still a normal blister that houses the figure and some extra parts. In the back you can see the typical Figma base plate, and covered in tons of plastic pouches there is a mounting crane, additional hand parts, and one of the tiny ball joints is a spare. Also, I always forget that the Figma comes with a branded Ziploc bag, puts a smile on my face each time. In addition to the spares accessories, there is also this printed inlay with different items on it in each box. This one, for example, is the wooden table, so to recreate this promotional picture, if you are really desperate, you have to cut out and glue together all the pieces following the instructions provided on the left side. Or just don't. This is a common scale, so you can find much better props made out of proper plastic, or if you are handy anyway, I'm sure you can craft them on your own without destroying parts of the boxes. Those three ladies are now my first foray into the 112 military series called Little Armory, and from what I can tell, they are all about the guns, rifles and gear rather than the action figures. Most of their releases are just small model kits of existing, historical or sometimes even fictional weapons, but every so often they also release original characters that can be combined with said miniature weapons. On surface level, those are three very bare-bone Figmas with almost no additional accessories besides some clips, packs and holsters, but if we look at them a bit closer, there is a decent amount of variety that can be achieved, provided you bought all three of them. I would also strongly recommend that you invest in the additional loadout set like I did in order to get the extra faces. I know it's a bit of a pain to shell out another 30 to 40 bucks for parts that ultimately should be included into the base figures, but even with the loadout set I only paid 200 euros including taxes and shipping, so it would come down to about 66 euros for each Figma, what is in my eyes still an acceptable price. And with all those parts and extra faces, you, like I said, can indeed mix and match your characters to your heart's content. Originally, each variant has a unique build to fulfill a certain combat role. Variant A with her 2 knee pads, body armor and sporty shoes is the protector. Variant B is listed as low profile and comes with only 1 knee pad and a body armor without side mounts for additional gear. And Variant C, the minimum style, only features a utility belt but is the one to wear a long sleeved shirt. But if you want to change that, you can switch out or add some accessories, and since those are ball jointed action figures, even change body parts. Each variant comes standard with a different hairstyle, and for some reason one of them, I believe it was C, has a full set of extra hand gestures. So combined with all the extra hands from the loadout set, you get a ton of them, but sadly most of them are either fists or variant of trigger hands. Even if some of them might be intended to hold heavier weapons, it would have been nice to get a broader variety. The plus side of having very simple outfits is that those characters are highly poseable. They can sit down and even a high kick is not a problem thanks to a slit in the already flexible skirt. Honestly, out of all the poses I tried, the hardest one to set up convincingly is a normal shooting stance with a handgun. It's really hard to stretch out both arms and have them meet in a triangle shape like someone who is holding a pistol in front of their body. And even if I managed to bend the parts this way, I still needed a tiny bit of adhesive pad so that both hands stayed on the gun. Maybe there is a reason why you don't really see this sort of pose in the promos. Speaking of promos, if you are new to the hobby like I, don't get too excited about all the cool gear, since all those nice guns and rifles are sold separately and may or may not be available at the moment. The only weapon that is included is one handgun for each character. Not even the loadout set, despite having an abundance of magazine holders, features an additional firearm. At first glance I thought that the three ladies all carried the same type of pistol, but if you look closely, those are indeed different models. It's kinda crazy that even on that small scale the series manages it so that you can see some of the characteristics of a G9, an XD series or an M45 by Colt. Extra faceplates for each character are only obtained through the loadout set. This bumps up the play factor a ton, and the set also holds 3 blanks that can be decorated with funny expressions that are included as decals. Altogether, if you want to try out the Little Armory series, be prepared for a more model building experience. For example, the additional weapon kits of bigger guns have to be built like model kits or gunplas, and there are even small dioramas available to display your figures with, but they are buildable kits as well. Overall, there is a ton of existing military and also non-military accessories available that can be combined with the scale of those Figma figures. In my opinion, the RMJK characters in particular are the weakest in terms of included accessories and also when it comes how tactical they look. If you check the archives what got released in the past, those 3 can feel a bit lackluster. But well, I guess I have to start somewhere, and believe me, there is a reason why all those older Little Armory Figmas have crazy high aftermarket prices. Next time another Nendo, either Dorothy Hayes or Kurumi from Licorice Recoil. Let's see who arrives first. Until then, thanks for watching, and hopefully we can see each other again in a new episode of Scaled Affairs when I once again take a closer look on anime figures of all sorts. Take care out there and keep having fun collecting.